So to the localizer, can you translate what I'm about to say? 没礼炮的想用开炮. Can localizer translate that? Also, to all companies, if you want to use AI for translation, just do it, okay?
Video game and anime localizers have done irreparable damage to the mediums they touch. We do not trust these types of people anymore. And while there are some decent ones left, they're not active on social media, and so it's hard to follow their work. But the infamous localizer Katrina Translator has now gone completely mask off, telling their supporters to bully Japanese companies into caving to their demands.
To all Japanese anime creators, video game developers, everything, don't do it, okay? And if you want to use AI for translation, I'm 100% certain that AI can do a better job of translating than localizer. Tell me something, folks. To all of you who has watched anime in the past, have you noticed a difference in language between English dub and the English sub?
Now, if you do not know what a localizer is, I've talked in depth about them on the channel, but a localizer's job is to adapt content from its original Japanese language and cultural context in order to make it accessible and relatable to audiences in other regions. But the issue that we see with anime and video game localizers is the fact that they take it upon themselves to censor and tone down work and add in very questionable content like, oh hey, what's up 6'7" man, big brothers here. These are the types of examples of a bad localization job. They add in cultural slang, and unfortunately that usually means that it is a millennial trying to add in content that is relatable to a younger crowd. And to top that off, these people are activists, and so they will see something that someone could deem as offensive and they will either tone it down or they will remove it and they will alter it in order to not offend people. So when you listen to a dub or you're on Crunchyroll, there's a lot of work that is actually butchered, and the same goes for the video game scene.
That's right. But okay, before we let Veridot continue, remember, this is about localizer and translation, okay? And it's not just reserved to video games, but also everything. Tell me something, folks. If you ever watch an anime that is either English dub and English sub, have you noticed the subtle difference?
When you listen to a dub or you're on Crunchyroll, there's a lot of work that is actually butchered, and the same goes for the video game scene. But Katrina Translator here is somebody who has very infamously said before that they are willing to change work and change the cultural context and actually make big changes if they think that it will help the game be seen by more people, or it will help the anime be seen by more people. And now they are going completely mask off, saying we need to bully companies that aren't doing what we want. So Permaban had posted this, infamous localizer Katrina went mask off on BS and declared that people need to bully Japanese companies until they hire their ilk of localizers and union VAs to only contract them. If you are a fan and want to do something to pressure companies into paying for union actors in good translation, bully them. Send emails shaming them. Comment how you will never buy their game again. Call their customer support line. The louder you are, the faster companies will change. Now, it is hilarious that Katrina is saying this, because imagine if we did this. Imagine if I sat in this video and I said, call these companies and tell them you don't want to hire people like this. Actually send them emails and shame them. Say you're never going to buy their games again. And the louder you are, the faster companies will change. Well, they would say this is a targeted harassment campaign, and this is disgusting and degenerate and ridiculous. And I personally do not tell people to buy or boycott things. I am here to provide to you information about situations that maybe you wouldn't see otherwise.
And I pray this time, I just hope Japanese developers, both anime, movie, and video game, they should not listen to woke localizer, okay? Listen, if you want to use AI, to all Japanese developers and creators, just do it, okay? I don't think gamers really care when it comes to translation.
I think that my audience is smart enough to
Me too.
actually find a way to vote with their wallets if
That's
they
right.
want to. But imagine if I sat here and did a call to arms and said, you need to bully these companies into not hiring these people, and you need to make sure these types of individuals do not get hired. They would be freaking out. It's okay when they do it because it's
Yeah.
rules for thee, but not for me.
Correct.
Now, Katrina has also talked about in the past things like AI, saying good translation.
No, 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 no. When it comes to translation, one thing people don't like is see activists in it. I mean, seriously, folks, why do you think many anime creators are now turning to AI for translation?
Shows respect to your devs, writers, and players around the world, and it boosts your profits and brand image too. It's so hilarious that they are so out of touch with reality because they are the ones who are not showing respect to developers and
Nope.
writers and players, and they are the ones who are ultimately making massive changes because it fits with their narrative. AI slop translations make your brand and games look cheap and uncaring, and is a spit in the face of all of the developers who worked hard to make your game, coming from the person who spits in the face of developers
Yeah,
and fans and
that's
doesn't
right.
respect the material they're hired to work with. It is insane that we see this happen time and time again. And yeah, this is Katrina right here, so I'm
Big
sure you
bag,
can
big
probably
bag.
tell the type of person they are, but I've talked about them many times in the past. They are very upset by the fact that AI is replacing them, and I generally say hire human beings. I would rather support humans than support
Yeah.
completely AI translated trash. But I can't shed a tear when people like this lose their jobs.
That's right. Same goes for other activists, okay? Tell me something to all people here who are gamers. Would you shed a tears if the activist who got laid off didn't care about you and still attack you for, I don't know, their game flop? Listen, folks, I normally don't like to see people get laid off, but activists, okay? Activists is a different thing. We all know activists, they don't care if myself or any of you who is watching this lose our job. They don't care. And also, the AI witch hunt, folks, it's gonna continue on. When it comes to translation, if they have to use it, to all developers, just use AI, okay? Go for it. You have my permission.
They only care about cutting costs, not about getting readers good translations. Yeah, hiring you would mean a bad translation, so I don't know what your point is.
Since you're smart enough, can you translate what I'm about to say? 没来跑的，想有开炮. Can you translate that? I'm sorry you cannot translate that.
Think that authors of the light novels would want their international fans reading garbled versions of the prose they worked so hard on. How disrespectful. So this right here is one of the most insane examples of Katrina's botched work. This had to do with Sentai Filmworks' 2.5 dimensional seduction anime. In the original, it said, a girl, damn it. This is a sanctuary for manly desires. Women and popular guys shouldn't like my weird otaku lifestyle. What kind of reason does she have to be here? And then in Katrina's localization, he is portrayed as being more reactionary and sexist, declaring instead this is a club for ass and titties and the guys who love them. Yeah, I bet she only likes show-yo bullcrap. In turn, it said, no way am I letting some girl ruin my secret sexy sanctuary. I'll come up with some kind of excuse to get her out of here.
Wow.
What an insane freaking
that's what it looks
change. They have also claimed that My Dear Friend Nokatan subtitle controversy was an example of—
Yeah, no. No, Japanese doesn't have to do that, okay? Japanese company doesn't need to do that. And also, if they want to use AI, then I don't care either. Go for it.
Why we need to educate Japanese companies on what good localization looks like, aka we need to educate Japanese companies on Marxism, because that's all these people are cultural freaking Marxists. They do not care about respecting the original material. They do not care about respecting fans. They care about destroying what they deem is inappropriate and then enlightening people on what could better mankind. The fan reaction to this, though, has
Yeah,
been strong and swift. What these vandalizers don't get is the reason they had jobs. Japanese companies clearly don't care about the quality of translation, just sales,
that's right.
is the reason AI will replace them. If these Japanese corpos cared about quality and accuracy, they'd never maintain a job translating. Localizers will say shit like this and then wonder why a ton of people are cheering for them to be replaced by AI. Remember, these are the stop appropriating culture people not that long ago. There are not many people I hate and despise. She's one of them. She went full mask off multiple times and
Yeah.
still fails upwards.
Hey, here's an idea. How about instead of attacking or bully these Japanese companies, how about you do one thing that is common sense? A very good idea. Do your bloody job. Common sense, no? Isn't that right, folks? Common sense? Anyone agree?
Times and still fails upwards. Here we have some more examples of these types of people going fully mask off. It brings me so much joy to know that you feel like all of your favorite hobbies are being stripped away from you. You will never get back what you think you had, and that is hilarious. Gee whiz, I wonder why I don't care that AI is replacing these people. It's exactly
too.
what he said. No one came for your games. Republicans want you to think that they did. LOL, they were not talking about Dragon Quest, they were talking about Christianity. Absolutely hilarious. The way y'all get tricked so easily. Yeah, I'm not going to shed a tear when these losers get kicked out of the industry, and then they'll
Me
say,
too.
oh my gosh, but you're supposed to be for freedom of speech and you're supposed to be wanting to
No, 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 no. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequences, okay? No, 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 no. And also, again, like I said, I don't care if these activists got laid off because, frankly, these activists doesn't even care if myself or many of you lost our job.
Christianity. Absolutely hilarious. The way y'all get tricked so easily. Yeah, I'm not going to shed a tear when these losers get kicked out of the industry, and then they'll say, oh my gosh, but you're supposed to be for freedom of speech and you're supposed to be wanting to better the industry. The industry would be better
Yeah,
without
it
people
will be
like you
better.
in it, and if companies wanted to hire you, they would. You are able to post whatever you want on social media, and ultimately, I am able to defend and not defend whoever I want.
Correct.
It's like I have seen examples in the past of people getting canceled and people being attacked. And sure, part of me wants to say that's not okay. They should be able to say what they want. But on the flip side, you are the ones who have pushed cancel culture
That's right.
to this point. You guys are the ones who have supported cancel culture to this point. So now that you are just facing the consequences of your actions, why would I defend you? Why would I run
right.
to your aid? If Alyssa Mercante was getting canceled, I sure would sit here and in a way say, well, she probably shouldn't be. But at the same time, would she defend me from cancel culture? Of
That's
course
right.
not. She would
That's
be
the question.
piling it on. So you're on your own, buddy.
Yep.
She can't say that on Twitter, so she has to run to the toxic landfill called Blue Sky to do so with no fear of being caught. To be honest, any Japanese company hiring this person from now on is dumb AF. The result of their bullying is always the same, and yeah, it's amazing games being turned into terrible ones, or good concepts being taken and ruined. And then you have a list of failures. I will keep asking how often she objects to groups she supports being bullied. Localization director. And yeah, she just has major Japanese game company on her LinkedIn. So who knows where they're working right now, but when we eventually find out, I certainly am going to view that company very differently. So
A little bit of reminder, folks. Now you see right now why currently every anime creators are now going to AI. And frankly, many people who either watch anime or play Japanese video games, they don't care if the translation is done by AI. If it can translate much better than the localizer, then it's okay. And remember, when it comes to video games, it reflects everything, okay? Which including Capcom, okay? Oh, no, Capcom, you're not getting away. But so far, Resident Evil, in terms of dialogue, it looks good so far. I don't know about the remakes, okay? Because remember, we all know remakes, sometimes they want to remake it with a better graphics, but at the same time, change any word that is Now, I do mean that is problematic. How the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake is going to be. What part is going to be cut and what part is going to remain. So, to all companies, if you want to use AI for translation, go for it. If AI can do a better job than localizer, go for it. Gamers approve it.
As a newspaper reporter, I had been involved with bizarre cases before. But this time, I had to learn the hard way that my past experiences were useless. When a horror movie becomes reality, a person's sanity can disappear instantly. I was moving on pure survival instinct.